or Tupac,
Here
the
comes the
Tupac
but.
situation. I said that at the beginning. If you go back and listen to it,
Comes the but.
I did hear you say that.
There it is.
I said that. So I take accountability for that as being an owner. But you can't have it both ways.
There it is, see? But
if I'm fired, then I wasn't supposed to be there, and anything else is extra. If I'm not fired, then yeah, I have to take accountability for hiring a nice looking bodyguard that everybody said woo to and all of that, and he not doing the proper thing.
Wow. You see how he put that shit on Frank?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Not doing the right thing, as he says. Okay.
Whoa. What the fuck was Frank supposed to do with no gun, no walkie-talkie, and you got 20-some cops, 24, 20 cops out there, and Frank is the only one with an entourage, and even after the fight, and that was his fault?
And by the way, he talked about the other 20 guys that he trusted more than the right way guys. Those are the fools that got Suge revoked on his probation because they beat Orlando Anderson up. Nice job.
Facts. And now
Nice job.
They wasn't security. Those are Suge friends. They hanging out.
If those are the people you're talking about. Yeah, if those are the people you're talking about, chump. Those are the people that got Suge violated and got, according to you, got Tupac killed.
Right.
Congratulations. You pick all the right people. Man, captain of the Titanic. All the time. Always. Fucking drive. You know what? There's not a rake in the yard you won't step on, dude. I swear to God. I mean,
one, let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know that there was a big fight at the MGM. I had never knew about that or heard about that. No one's contacted.
calling Suge not a liar again. Here we go. Calling Suge not a liar. I didn't know anything about any of that. No, because no single motherfucker on the planet called you and told you that something went down at the MGM and you're the head of security and nobody called you. You're not telling me that Frank didn't call you when he got back to the hotel room and nobody called you? All these motherfuckers with Nextel phones and no one's calling anybody. No one's calling the head of security. And then the one guy that says he did call the head of security, Suge Knight, he calls him a liar and says that he didn't know anything. Really?
So you telling me that Tupac, this whole MGM grand fight happens and nobody called the head of security?
Yeah, no one says a
even
word.
The fucking police was called?
Yeah, no, yeah. Nobody says a word. Nobody says the word to the head of security. Okay? Okay. Right.
He didn't know. He didn't know about the fight, but he knew Southside did it.
Yeah, of course, right away. 5 minutes after the shooting, he knew who did it. He knew, oh yeah, it must be Southside. Well, where'd you pick that out of?
Hey, yo, this dude he is fucking wild.
I didn't know about the radios. Well, let's keep score. I didn't know about the radios. I didn't know about Kevin Hackey. I didn't know about the MGM fight. Fuck good are you? I mean, by your own statement, clown, you said, and I quote, I didn't know anything about Kevin Hackey. I didn't know anything about the radios. I didn't know anything about the MGM fight. The three most important things in the entire evening. And you say you didn't know anything about any of them.
Who hired this motherfucker?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the conversation I'd like to have with Suge. Why did you put this clown in charge? He admits on his own video he'd never been a bodyguard before. He says, I was Suge's right-hand man. I'd never been a bodyguard before. I was Suge's right-hand man. But right. I've never been a bodyguard before. No, yeah, there's another no shit. Okay?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know about Kevin Hackey. I didn't know about the fight at the MGM. I didn't know about the radios.
And I don't know why they had their guns.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have their guns. I don't know why Frank didn't have his gun.
But I own the company. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
One, let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know that there was a big fight at the MGM.
Does not lies on you, right? And you as the head of Right
I
Way
said,
Security, correct?
when I first started off this whole interview, I said I have some neglect,
For the
and
big
I
butt.
messed
Here
up
comes the big butt.
on some of the security
He's going to
tactics
admit it,
for
but
Tupac, the Tupac situation. I said that at the beginning. If you go back and listen to it,
I did
but
hear you say that.
I
Go ahead.
said that. So I take accountability for that as being an owner. But you can't have it both ways. If I'm fired, then I wasn't supposed to be there, and anything else is extra. If I'm not fired, then yeah, I have to take accountability for hiring a nice looking bodyguard.
That's a real recent argument that he's made. That's like in the last year or so, when Delray Richardson brought up the fact that he had been fired from Right Way, or been to Tupac had fired Right Way. That's the new rationale that came out. That's the new spin on it, to say, well, if I was fired, then I wasn't responsible for Tupac. But if I was responsible for Tupac, then I wasn't fired.
No,
Okay.
that's bullshit.
It is.
Motherfucker, Death Row hired you. So you are to protect the everything under the umbrella.
Right Way Security was contracted to Death Row Records.
That's
right.
I
don't know how much more the checks went from Death Row's bank account to Right Way.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Those
so
security guys were employed the Right Way.
Paid by Death Row Records, you are supposed to protect everything under the fucking umbrella, nigga, which is Tupac too, especially when he's sitting next to the CEO.
Well, Tupac wasn't, and Tupac didn't run Death Row Records. Last I checked.
Right.
So Tupac can say anything he wants to about firing Right Way. It has no meaning because you're working for Death Row.
You working for Suge.
Yeah.
And that's why you out in Vegas. That's why you doing security for Club 662, because you're working for fucking Suge. And if Suge tell you to protect Tupac and put Mikey Moore and put Frank on them, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not working for Tupac going out to the club by himself without the label. You're not working for Tupac going to get something to eat by himself at Monty's and need security. Nigga, this dude's he's full of Reggie's such a liar. He's so full of shit.
Everybody said woo to and all of that, and he not doing the proper thing. One, let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know that there was a big fight at the MGM. I had never knew about that or heard about that. No one contacted me. Why? Because they felt good. So niggas felt comfortable. They had 20.
Reggie,
go ahead.
How did you call so fast after the shooting? If nobody, like, when you were, you called it, I believe you told someone right after the shooting, not long after the shooting. How did you know so quickly that the shooting had even taken place?
Baby, I didn't know until I went to the hospital and we sitting around, everybody crying, and I went in the emergency room and talked to Suge and stuff. Where they went.
Reggie, you went to the hospital and you went in the emergency room and talked to Suge. A motherfucker that just got shot in the head and they sitting there working on it. You went in the emergency room and they let you go in the back and talk to Suge. You're fucking lying, nigga. You're lying.
Well, let's say for a minute let's say it's not true. Let's say it's true. Let's be stupid. I know, but let's say it's true for a minute.
Okay.
So what you're telling me, what I've just heard, was that he didn't see the cars like he said. He saw all the police cars taking off and leaving Club 662. He never heard anything over a radio. He never heard anything from George Kalisis. This is all the different stories he's told about how he was alerted to it. And now he says he didn't know anything until he got to the emergency room.
Yes.
You know, I got to tell you something. The amount of mental energy that this is just a thing. The more lies you got to tell to more people, the harder it is to keep up with them because you can't remember what you told who. Okay. Problem is he put all these into YouTube videos, 1,700 YouTube videos. He put all that stuff and he recorded it. I got together with George. I hitched a ride with George Kalisis to the hospital. Okay. He says that. He says Michael Moore couldn't have heard anything over the radio.
The car with Michael Moore.
Well, and he said Michael Moore couldn't have heard anything over the radio because we were in the club, and I got notified by Buntry or somebody that came to the Club 662 allegedly and told him that. Right. Okay. And now it's I didn't know anything until I got to the hospital. Really?
And went in the emergency room.
Oh yeah, I walked back to the emergency room where two high-profile celebrities.
Mother couldn't have went in there and talked to him after getting shot in the head.
Kevin Hackey sure couldn't.
Thank you. You crazy? They not letting you back there, and he's not. And he's not even first to kin.
Well, and they don't even know who he is. Two people just got shot. One is on life support.
And Suge like, oh, yo, that was Southside that shot us. Yeah, right, nigga.
That was Southside.
And you called your father that fast? Mm-hmm. You got to the hospital, went to the emergency. Suge told you it was Southside, and you called your father within 30 minutes and told your father, and you got to the hospital in 30 minutes.
It was within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes of the shooting, he was on the phone with his dad.
How could you get to the hospital that fast, bro?
Wow. Well,
Suge and them probably was still in the fucking ambulance. They probably didn't even make it to the hospital yet.
Well,
because remember they pulled them over and they got in the ambulance and all that stuff. They questioned the Outlaws. You telling me you went to the hospital and Suge told you sedated? Why they got him in a hospital bed? Everything. Why you went in there and talked to Suge and he told you?
Oh yeah, and he was able to unravel that whole thing with the Las Vegas and Orlando Anderson and the MGM. He had that all figured out.
Yeah, and told you that for you to call your father and say it was Southside. Mm. And you wasn't at the fight, you didn't know what happened, and you wasn't in the car when the shooting, and you didn't know what happened. Nobody called you and told you, and you drove all the way down there to the hospital. This nigga's full of shit, bro. The feds got favoritism out here. I don't know what